Hi, I'm Brad Malone, Vice President of Consulting with Navigate Management Consulting.
And I'm Patrick Britton, Senior Consultant with Navigate.
So what we want to talk about and what we've been hearing from a lot of the customers roaming by is growth, scalability, all that.
What I keep hearing, Brad, is companies talking about we are growing or we want to grow.
Okay.
And one of the things they use the word scale and they use those two terms interchangeably. And I'd like to take the opportunity to just spend a minute and talk about why they're different, and what they're different, and what it means to the companies. So,
go for it. Let's start.
So if we're talking about growth, that just means we're adding more revenue or adding more profit to our company. We're going from a lower number to a higher number. When we talk about scaling, we're actually talking about creating a plan to implement that change and understand and anticipate that growth is going to have an impact on our processes. It's going to really put some pressure on that. So scaling is really anticipating what that pressure is going to be and preparing for it, and then creating our processes or upgrading our processes to accommodate that growth as it comes, so that we can continue to provide our clients with the same level of service that's causing the growth that we're experiencing.
So you're talking like way different than the Amway approach, where I just like grow people under me and it magically happens?
Absolutely. The more people we add, the more stress we add to our system. So in order to alleviate that, we need good processes. We need good leadership and management along the way. That's what scaling is.
What does that, to me, one of the things that gets in the way is people thinking they're indispensable versus learning how to delegate.
Absolutely. As you're growing, the owner, the founder, the people who have gotten you to that point, they can't do as much as they used to do. So it's their obligation to the company to find good people to layer in underneath them and then let them do the work that you're hiring them for.
I also, a lot of people go, well, if I grow, then I have to hire more managers and more overhead.
Yes, and you're going to offset that with the increased profit. And again,
right.
Growth should be a plan. It should be a decision. We can decide that we are comfortable being a $10 million integrator, and we want to stay that, and we want to continue to do that. That's where we're comfortable. Or we can make the decision that we want to grow. But we don't just want to grow without having made that decision
right.
and setting a plan in place.
I use the metaphor of a balloon, when you spray paint it really thick, and then you start blowing on it, it just gets cracks.
Yeah.
So where are some of the cracks you see?
Again, you talked about delegation, right? So we don't do a great job of preparing the people that we're going to make managers into being managers and understanding business. We have a good product. We execute well for our customers. But again, as we do more and more, how do we make that process scalable? How do we make that process applicable?
So like segregation of duties, that's a big one. I find in a lot of organizations, this person does 10 things, I need another person just like them. And like one, you can't hire or grow unicorns. And you can't replicate it. I think another is systems, that we just break the system and then we kind of go into Excel hell.
Yes.
So not information-based, but what tools have to be looked at, or why do we have to look at tools?
Well, because the tools are what you use to generate the business that you're executing in, right? So the tools I use today, when I'm a $3 million organization, I probably have a lot of Excel. We probably have a lot of Word. We're probably using QuickBooks or something similar to that to run the business. As we start to scale and grow, and we want to understand the profitability of our projects, if we want to start to schedule out our projects proactively, we need to look at different tools that enable us to do that. Something such as Solutions 360's Q360 that we have behind us,
right.
or other tools. But the important thing is that we've got a tool that is applicable for the job we're asking it to do. Not everything in our business is a nail, so we don't need to buy a bunch of hammers. We need to make sure we have the tools to do the job.
And I think another key piece is, like we said, as managers grow, often in this industry, and no disparagement, they were technicians and not managers. So the whole finance conversation, what is gross profit? How do I make it? What is burden rate? Just that understanding of the language, and then teaching people the transparency.
Yes.
A lead tech becoming a PM who doesn't understand gross profit, how can I hold him responsible for it if I haven't?
And that's, Brad, where often I see there's two types of project management in companies as they're growing. They end up at the point where they're stressing their systems, so their whole project management philosophy is to get the job done, hopefully on time. Profit is often an afterthought, if we want to really build the processes and have the right tools, we're going to focus on scope, time, cost. We're going to look at risk, and we start to engage in those thought processes around our projects and around our company. We're going to find that as we grow, we're having consistent delivery and consistent profitability, or increased profitability.
Well, so for those of you out there, it's really that conversation of, it's not just growing, blowing the balloon, it's really looking at that 3, 6, 10, 15 conversation. How do I mold the organization, shape it? Got to have different roles. People have got to give up roles. They've got to gain roles. So it really is a transformation versus just, again, blowing that balloon up.
And what I would invite anybody who's watching this, all of our viewers, to do is, you will feel that stress point. If you're not feeling it, your customers are going to feel it, and they're going to let you know. So that growing will start to slow. Your employees may start to leave because of the pressure that you're putting on them. So if you're starting to feel that and you want to continue to grow your business, reach out to us, give us a call, and we'll help you put in a plan in place to be able to scale your business, not just grow it.
Great. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Brad.